Plaintiff LaPasha Davis says the defendant is her cousin, and she helped raise him. But despite her best efforts to keep him out of a gang, he ended up joining one at the age of 14. LaPasha is suing her cousin today for a loan and attorney fees. Defendant Yari Woods admits he started running the streets when he was 12 or 13, and he was in and out of prison for years. Yari claims he's been living a crime-free life for the past 3 years and finally has his life on track. He's countersuing for an assault.
Start with you.
Well, let me start with saying that I love Yari and care for him dearly. I've been taking care of him since he was, well, seeing after him, since I was 10. I would go to his house where he shared with his mother, door wide open. I would get him and his sister dressed, take them to my grandmother's house. Eventually, my mother, he was 8.5 months at that time. My mother got custody of them. My mother had a rule, where thee go, thou go. And I carried him on my hip, up and down the west side, until he was able to go outside by himself. When he was 9, they was trying to recruit him for gangs. He missed curfew, which he never did. My mother said something wrong. Go find him. I did. Him and his best friend was in the middle of a crowd of older guys, my age and older. I snatched him out. You're going home with me. Of course, I was scared, but he got to go with me.
What'd you do?
I told him I talked a lot of smack. I talked a lot of smack. Like, he going home with me, I don't care what you're talking about, and a few curse words. And when I turned that corner, thank God, nothing happened. By the age of 14, he eventually did join a gang. We tried everything in our power for him not to. But, you know, the streets is the streets. By the age of 16, he got kicked out of school because he took a gun to school. He didn't actually get caught with the gun. A girl did. He fessed up to it. He was a good kid, smart, and I don't know where it went.
What was the result?
He got in trouble. He went to boot camp. He finished school, though, and he went to boot camp. We visited him in boot camp. He got out. He got in trouble again. And then when he was 21, my mother said, well, maybe you can go down to Virginia and stay with my cousin. He was in the Navy, doing well. You know, another guy. Mm-hmm. So he did. He went down there. And then he eventually kind of found the same group. And you have to look at the person at that point.
Yeah. When you're out the environment and yet you go and find that environment somewhere else. That's in you there. It's understandable. In many instances, when these kids join gangs, it's either your prey or your predator in some of the neighborhoods. I know that firsthand. And got caught with a gun in high school, tried as an adult, sentenced to a year, did 7 months. Then when I got out that environment and went to college, I never looked back. Mm-hmm. I didn't look for thugs in college. Thank God that I was out of those streets and tried to make something out of myself. You want to give some background, sir?
Well, basically, everything she said was true. You know, as far as me being, you know, her mother taking me in when I was a baby, yeah. She took me in. You know, they raised us like she raised us like we was brothers and sisters. Like she said, by the time I was like about 9 years old, something like that, I started dibbling and dabbling in the streets. Say probably like around 12 or 13. It was yeah. I was really into it. Mm-hmm. And yeah, I got to the point, like she said, I got to the point where, you know, I couldn't be controlled. You know, I went to high school. Always went to school, but you know, when I get out of school, I gangbang. Went to school in the morning, gangbang afternoon.
Gangbang is just fighting, nothing for money. Just kind of like fighting over being on the wrong street or something. I've never understood that. Back in my day, we was fighting over money. We were getting some money. I don't care what street you're on, we're getting some money. Somebody getting robbed, some house getting broke in, somebody's purse getting snatched, somebody buying some dope, something related to money. Yeah. Last several years, they fight over what street you're on, and everybody's still broke. Go to prison, you're broke, because all you fight over was the street. Go ahead, sir.
Yeah, around about that time, I took a gun to school, got kicked out of school, boot camp. I did the 4 months boot camp, got out, had an altercation with a friend about a car. He hit my car, I took his car, bam, carjacking charge, back in the jail. When I got out from the carjacking, I went to Virginia. Started off doing pretty good. I was working at a Sonic Drive-In. Started off as a grill cook, worked my way up to a first assistant manager. So I was doing that, but at the same time, I was trying to play both sides. I was still dibbling dabbling in the streets, and then, you know, I was still working. So it wound up catching up with me. I had a little shop that I was dealing with, a little flea market shop, and I was purchasing stolen goods, like TVs, electronics, and stuff like that. So I wound up getting in trouble with that. Guy told on me, set me up. I wound up getting in trouble with that, took the people on a high-speed chase through a few different cities in Virginia, and I ended up back in the penitentiary again. So I did like 5 years, maybe 5.5 years on that one. And when I got out, I came back home. And since being home, I started off, I was working at Kentucky Fried Chicken downtown, working there full-time, and I was working at Chipotle full-time, so I was working from 6 to 2 in the morning, then 3:30 to 11:30. So since then, I worked my way all the way up, so now I'm a general manager at KFC and assistant manager at Taco Bell.
Good. You still there? You doing that? Good. Excellent.
Actually, yesterday marked 3 years of me being home.
Excellent.
Without no problems from the police.
Excellent. You know what I suggest is that you take some night classes, or you work on finding some investors to get your own franchise. Night classes in business will help you move higher and quicker in the management. I've seen it happen before. We have such similar stories. 11 years old, started carrying a gun and doing my thing. 17 years old, caught with a gun, doing my thing, plea bargain, got out, ordered to get a job, went to fast food, got the job. Went to college on the affirmative action program, worked at McDonald's at night after that, made assistant manager my first year. On the other hand, still dibbling and dabbling. Because you don't transition, you don't transform your life that one day. You don't say, I'm through and don't do it anymore. Well, that's not true if you've been in the street all your life. No, you don't just stop. You might slow down a little. I went from some hardcore stuff to selling joints on campus, to flipping 3-car Molly, which is where I met my wife. I told you. She turned over the red card and didn't have any money down. Then a couple other little things involving financial crime. So then by the middle of my second year, nothing. And have not done anything that would send me to prison since that time. $5,000 for the loan, and the attorney fee is for what?
For the attorney fees,
Tell me about the loan first you're suing for.
Okay, the $2,000 was a promissory note that I bought. He borrowed $2,000 for attorneys at that time as well.
Let's see it, please, the promissory note. Man, this is 04.
I never stopped asking for my money.
No.
Not never. And he kept
When was the
getting in
last
trouble.
time he said, okay, I'll pay you?
February 1st.
That would be considered reaffirming the loan. Sir, what do you say to the loan? She said you told her in February you reassured her you would pay.
Well, in regards to that, I don't remember, did I tell you that in a text message or a voice or what?
No, you signed that promissory note.
No, she's talking about in February.
Oh, February, that was out loud in front of the whole family. Because he was talking about...
You have two people nodding their
Exactly.
heads right here.
No. When we was at the house, at family dinner, he was saying how he was
Were the two
gonna...
witnesses there? Because they're nodding their heads.
Yes,
Okay, they're
were.
nodding their heads and they heard you. That's enough.
All right.
All right. What about this $3,500 for attorney fee?
That was from the incident in Virginia.
All right. And when was he to repay it?
when he got himself together. And he has got himself together.
Sir, what do you say to that?
For attorney fees, I went with a public defender.
Until your lawyer quit.
I went with a public defender.
Until your lawyer quit.
I went with a
So you
public
never had a private lawyer represent you?
Yeah, I had a private lawyer represent me.
So you didn't go with just a public defender?
No, I fired him.
So your private lawyer you had first.
Yeah.
And did you loan him the money for that? How much? $3,500.
$3,500.
Is that true?
I didn't tell her to get a lawyer no $3,500.
Did he represent you?
For like preliminary hearing.
Okay, so that's a yes.
Yeah, I know that's a yes. But
Okay, well, no, you must not know because you qualified it. So all I asked you was one question. That was a yes or no question. So ain't no yeah, no, it's a yes. You've been before judges. Now talk to me like you talk to them other judges.
Yeah, I'm talking to you like I talk to them.
All right, no, you're not. You're talking to me with this. Maybe that's why you got so much time then.
I don't know.
Yeah, it must have been. You don't know how to talk to the judge. I'm going to hold you in contempt. Judgment for the plaintiff. Your claim is dismissed for disrespect and contempt of the judge. Have a good day.
You have a good day, too.
Yeah.
It's all right. So everything all right. It's cool. I'm done with it.
I love him.
Same here.
I love him.
And let me just say for the record, it sounds funny to say he's my cousin because he's my brother.